What up, everybody, and welcome to the show of hurt feelings, disagreements, debate, and controversy. It is the House of Havoc Top 10. Today we have the artist formerly known as Anthony Alessino, the smooth criminal Brian Castiglione, and the mullet-wearing, cold take sharing Jack Hockenjos. And last but certainly not least is your boy, the Dean Malenko of podcasting, the man of 1,000 nicknames, Jimmy Hockenjos. Ladies and gentlemen, theys and gays, there are over 2 million podcasts worldwide, and today you chose to listen to us, and we do appreciate that. We're back with another episode of the House of Havoc Top 10, and by now it is almost football season. So we figured we would do the top 10 NFL wide receiver cores from the 2010 to 2019 decade. We have an interesting little 10-year slice of the NFL here because a lot of change goes on from 2010 to 2019 in the way the game was played. Looking at some of the numbers, and I'm like, that can't possibly be right. Like, I think it was 2009 I looked at just for fun. Mm-hmm. The Jets, Sanchez's rookie year, he threw for 2,444 yards.
Really?
And he played 15 games.
What was the rushing like?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Thomas Jones had 1,000 yards.
It's got to be.
Thomas Jones had 1,000 yards, and I think the other two might have had like 300-something apiece.
Jeez. Yeah, you don't see that really much anymore. I mean, there's lead backs that barely break 900.
So like 2010 is where a couple of teams are really ahead of the rest of the league here, right, where playing offense, the style that everyone kind of plays at now. Like those Patriot teams before they moved over to the 2 tight end system, right, they were 4 wide a lot of the time. Like that's the fucking offense that Andy Reid's running in Kansas City now. Mm-hmm. Patriots were doing it in like the 2007 year. That was the year they had that. Like no one was doing that back then.
No.
So some of the numbers.
At least not much as air raid,
Yeah, there's way more run, pass, run.
Play action.
Open up with a bubble screen or something like. Take deep shots, run the ball, control the clock. Anywho, here we are. You got anything for a little intro here? What are you doing? You making a bet?
No. Stop it. Honorable mention. I really want to start with honorable mention.
Did you honorable before? I have dishonorable.
Oh my God, you have a dishonorable?
I have a dishonorable.
Oh man, how do I never have one? I don't know.
Just look at
All right, let's hear him.
We'll go dishonorable first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. My dishonorable is the 2012 Ravens that won a Super Bowl in the blackout game against the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, shit.
We got old man Anquan Boldin with 65 grabs for 920 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's their number 1 wide receiver in a Super Bowl winning team. Number 2 wide receiver, Dennis Pitta, 61 catches, 669 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Okay? Number 3 receiver, Ray Rice. 61 catches, 478 yards, 1 touchdown. Behind him, Torrey Smith, 49 grabs, 855 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Lackluster at best. And Joe Flacco slinging the rock to them. They won that Super Bowl on defense.
And Joe Flacco got paid. And then quarterbacks
paid it right after that Super Bowl, right?
Paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the tide started turning where quarterbacks started getting
you win a Super Bowl, you're just going to get paid now.
Exactly. Because I don't know why I remember people losing their minds over the contract that he got coming out of it.
Yeah, because it was one of the first $100 million contracts in the NFL, right? Yep.
Dishonorable mention, I only have one. That's a really good one. That is.
Thank you.
The Detroit Lions, every year.
For 9 straight seasons. That Calvin Johnson was in the league.
Yeah. Never giving him a number 2.
And like fucking Matt Stafford over too.
Yeah.
Took him 1 year and some weapons to be like, hey, fuck you guys.
Got the ring.
Yeah. Never putting a even semi-competent second wide receiver out there for Calvin Johnson, who, I mean, arguably for our time period, us growing up, I mean, was seen as like the best wide receiver in the world to us. Is just a travesty. It needs to get a dishonorable.
Is their best number 2 of all time Golden Tate? With Calvin Johnson, is that the best?
It has to be.
Who's a slot receiver the best?
I might be thinking the wrong time. Nate Burleson. I could be thinking of the wrong time.
Nate Burleson was
again, slot receiver.
The very end of
Of Calvin.
Nate's career was the
Yeah.
beginning of Nate. That was the beginning
All
of
right.
Calvin.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm in the
You
wrong
know what I
time.
mean?
Yeah.
So, like, you always look at, now since, whatever, we'll do honorable in a second, but I was always looking at, like, that changing of the guard. So, those, you know what I'm talking about? Those Roddy White,
Yep.
Julio
Julio
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you kind of, so there's that 1 year where they were together where I had to put them there.
Right.
But it's like,
I have the Falcons as an honorable mention, but Roddy's already gone by now.
well, go ahead. Wait, honorable? Go ahead.
Yeah.
I only have one honorable, so.
I have 4. But you can go.
Wow.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll do my 2 first, and then you could have the.
Yeah.
We'll go to him because I guess it's also the Falcons.
No, it's not.
Oh, all right.
No.
So my honorable mention is the 2016 Falcons, the Super Bowl 28-3 Falcons. And the reason it was like gonna be number 10, and then I just looked at the numbers, and it's really a one-man show.
Mhm.
Julio Jones, 83 catches, 1,409 yards, 6 touchdowns. Number 2, Mohamed Sanu, 59 catches, 653 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And number 3, Taylor Gabriel, 35 catches, 579 yards,
Yeah.
and 6 touchdowns. Very good offense, very explosive offense. It was a one-man show in Julio Jones, and then Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman out of the backfield ripping it up.
Right.
It was a very you want to talk about just offenses. 2016 Falcons offense is one of the most explosive of that decade, but it's a lot on the ground, and it's really just Julio doing the one-man show.
Right.
So that's why I bumped him to the honorable mention. And maybe if they won that Super Bowl, they make the list.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll give you one. So, I have 2016 Cincinnati Bengals, AJ Green, Brendan LaFell, and Tyler Boyd. Really not a crazy season, but the numbers aren't bad. AJ Green 100 for 964, Brandon LaFell 107 for 862, and even Tyler Boyd 81 for 603.
Brandon LaFell had 100 catches.
107 for
What year
862
was
and
this?
6 touchdowns. This is 2016.
Yeah, that was a sick fantasy year out of those
That's
guys.
that's what, like, not a team. I mean, they went 6-9 and won, so not a crazy talented team, but the numbers passing wise are.
And
Yeah.
going into
You
that
know.
going into that fantasy draft, it's like someone takes LaFell in the 12th round, and you're like, Brandon LaFell,
Yeah,
what are you doing, dude?
I mean, yeah, Brandon LaFell.
I
Yeah,
want what
one.
this guy's drinking.
Yeah, right.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. He had 64 catches. He had 107 targets. That's my bad.
Okay.
He did lead the team in receiving touchdowns, though. He had
I was
6
gonna say,
touchdowns for
I got nervous for a
862
second.
yards. Yeah. That's my fault. I read that wrong. You had another honorable mention.
Yeah. It's the 2010 Jets.
I thought about it too.
Now, so-
I thought about it too.
Look, the numbers don't pop off the page, but when you consider that this is 12...
When you consider it's Jimmy's favorite team.
No, 12 seasons ago, a team that was number 1 rushing defense, number 3 passing defense, number 1 rushing attack with the second-year quarterback managing the game a lot. Dustin Keller, 55 catches, 687 yards, 5 touchdowns. Braylon Edwards, 53 catches, 904 yards, 7 touchdowns. Santonio Holmes, 52 catches, 749 yards, and 6 touchdowns. LaDainian Tomlinson, 52, 368, 0. And then the man who was always open no matter what on third down, Jericho Cotchery, 41, 433, and 2 touchdowns. Made an honorable mention. That's one of my favorite Jets receiving classes of probably my life, but the Jets have sucked a lot. And also just, this is why it's the honorable mentions. There's a little homerism and a little of my heart in it. They won 5 or 6 games in the last drive of the fourth quarter or overtime that year. And it was Santonio Holmes taking a slant to the crib on one.
Right.
One, I think, was Cotchery made that crazy catch on 3rd and long after he pulled his hamstring. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
He pulled his hamstring and he's hobbling into the open hole, catches the ball, goes down right away, spike, field goal, I think that's how it. But he definitely popped the hamstring, hobbled into the open hole, caught the ball, went down. Ultimately, the closest chance I've ever had to a Super Bowl in my life. I think most Jet fans could probably say that at this point since it's over 50 years. So, 2010 Jets get the honorable mention.
That's fair. I actually have 3. I thought I had 4, but I have 3. 2017 Minnesota Vikings, Thielen and Diggs. Nothing crazy. But the numbers really aren't bad. Thielen had 91 catches for 1,200 yards, and Stephon Diggs had 64 catches for 849 yards. On a team that kind of was based around. Oh wait, no, Dalvin Cook wasn't even here at that point. He was. It looks like they had a three-headed committee going on. It looks like here. It's Murray, McKinnon, and Cook, all combined for probably 1,400 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Was Cook hurt that year?
Yeah, he only played 4 games. He only played 4 games.
McKinnon wound up getting paid after that and blew out his ACL in training camp the next year, right? Didn't the Niners pay him after that, and then he blew out his knee?
And then he was just never.
And then he
the
just
same.
became.
Yeah.
Hey, we need a guy. Jet, what are you doing? Chiefs brought him in late last year.
What's your third honorable mention?
Third honorable mention.
I don't hate that one, but what's your third honorable
mention? Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to repeat teams, so I'll just preface this by saying that I have the 2016 New Orleans Saints, Michael Thomas and Brandon Cooks. Kind of like a sneaky good year. When I looked at it, I don't remember them being like this good, but I mean, and also, of course, I have the wrong one on here. That's my bad. Yeah, sneaky year. I think this was the first year Jimmy Graham had been gone, if I'm correct. But yeah, I mean, they both had 1,100 yards. Michael Thomas had 92 receptions. Brandon Cooks had 78. Thomas with 9 touchdowns. Cooks with 8. So very similar stat lines.
Brandon Cooks is always underlyingly great.
Can you what team was that?
And also, this is the 2016 Saints. Also, keep in mind, right under them, Willie Snead, 72 receptions for 895 yards. So
Willie Snead, that little bastard.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and yeah, Jimmy Graham's off the team at this point. Looks like Mark Ingram's the guy. He's got over 1,000 yards, but still, I mean, 2 receivers with 1,100 yards, and Brandon Cooks is still killing it now. I feel like Cooks is one of those guys.
Did you see that thing? He's like the only receiver to have over 1,000 yards in 6 straight seasons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, it's like in 6 straight seasons.
Oh yeah, also has six,
I
7
feel like
years,
he's sneaky elite.
teams.
Like people,
Yeah, he is sneaky.
He's just sneaky elite.
I
don't know
what
what
it
The
is.
thing about Brandon Cooks, though, everyone that wants him is willing to get rid of him.
That's how I feel. He plays for all these
always-
teams for so short.
I've got a problem, especially when one of them is Bill Belichick. There's a reason Bill Belichick didn't want him, right? Like,
but he plays so well, like everywhere he. It's just weird. It's weird. But yeah, that's my last honorable mention.
My only honorable mention. Is the 2013 Pittsburgh Steelers.
I meant to look into a Steelers team, and
I had to.
Oh, I got a Steelers.
And I
meant
literally
to, and I fucking did.
literally had to.
Because I'm like one of those Antonio Brown years. They had
So
to
here
be
we
lit
go.
with
They were
Antonio
8-8.
Brown, Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah,
Oh.
they were 8-8, and that was the only thing that was like, I don't know, but here it goes. Receiving. Antonio Brown, this is his first breakout year. So 110 receiving. I'm sorry.
You just read targets like Brian did before.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, it's
probably like 88 catches.
What's crazy is they don't.
Let me see. What do you
They
want?
don't list
Are you on
them.
StatMuse?
No, I'm on
Go to Stat.
Wikipedia, but they don't list them.
That's
Or is that catches? It's got to be catches, right? It has to
that
be.
looks like attempts, is what it says.
No, it can't be. It can't be. It can't be.
Yeah, it's probably his
Yeah,
catches.
I think it's
don't know why you
catches.
can't just
Yeah.
use the website everyone else is
I don't
using
know.
that we said was perfect for the podcast.
This is also perfect. Antonio Brown,
It seems imperfect.
110, 1,500 yards, 1 yard shy of 1,500, 8 touchdowns. Sanders, 67 for 740. Heath Miller, 58 catches for 600 yards. And Jericho Cotchery, 46 receptions, 600 yards. And Jericho Cotchery had 10 touchdowns. He had 10
Forgot about
touchdowns.
The fucking Jericho Turnpike Mike fucking shows up twice on the honorable mentions.
And
dude.
and he had 10 touchdowns, and Le'Veon Bell, 45 catches. So they got after it.
fucking Le'Veon Bell.
They got after it. So that's my only honorable mention. So
I have that man's autograph.
Le'Veon Bell.
No, Cotchery.
Oh,
whatever, he's okay.
All right, so 10 time. Time for number 10. I guess I'm going to ruffle fucking feathers. This is the team that beat out the 2016 Falcons, mind you, for the 10 spot.
okay.
It's the 2015 New York Jets.
Okay.
It's
I don't
the
hate that.
2015 New York Jets.
Okay.
Brandon Marshall, 109 catches, and that's catches, not targets. He had like
Brandon Marshall's
140
the man,
targets.
too. Just so we're
109
clear.
catches, 1,502 yards, 14 scores. Decker, 80 for 1027 and 12 scores. And their number 3 receiver, Bilal Powell, who only played exclusively on third down, 47 catches, 388 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So the reason I ultimately put them ahead of the Falcons here at 10 is because Decker just falls short of their next 2 options combined in yards on his own, and he has 2 more touchdowns than the 2 of them.
Mm.
So based on,
I mean, listen.
oh, it's not the best wide receiver. It's the best wide receiver core. And like, if we're talking about the best, even if we're talking best number 1, 83, 1409, 6 doesn't touch 109 for 1502 and 14.
Yeah, it's not all about stats though. But yeah, I hear you saying.
Okay, that team was 1 Ryan Fitzpatrick interception in the end zone in week 17 away from going to the playoffs.
I understand. I don't disagree with him.
It's not their fault
I'm
they
not
didn't
fighting
make it.
with you about it.
Eric Decker was wide open in the end zone.
You're upset, and I get it because it's your team, but it's not.
That's
that
the
big of a
last
deal.
time they were close to good.
It's not that serious. Tell him, Brian.
I mean, I can't say much because I'm about to do my number 10 in a little bit. He might not be happy
What,
with
it's
it.
going to be the Giants?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, so number 10, because I know he's going to be upset about it,
Maybe not.
is the 2011 New York Giants that won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they won the Super Bowl.
I know.
Right.
Well, hold
With
on.
the
So,
Hall of Fame pass thrower.
I have the numbers. Do you have them too?
I have them too, but what I was going to say, yeah, my main argument was that they won the Super Bowl realistically. And also this was my homer pick also. Kind of going to what you were saying. But yeah, the numbers are also pretty nuts to be honest. Even I'm kind of biased against the Giants just cuz. But Victor Cruz, 82 receptions for 1,500 yards. Hakeem Nicks, 76 receptions for 1,100. And the next up is Jake Ballard, 38 for 604. But you still have Manningham
Loser.
with 39 for 523. But Victor Cruz, I got to tell you, I mean, I didn't really look into the stats too much, any Giant stats before this. I would have thought Victor Cruz had a 1,500 yard season. That's nuts. I mean, maybe that's just ignorant on my part, but it just doesn't feel.
That's
just
probably
doesn't
his
feel like it.
best year for the Giants, right? But he had a couple of 1,000-yard years for the Giants. And yeah, it was 82, 15, 36, 9 touchdowns for Cruz, 76 catches, 1,192 yards, and 7 touchdowns for Nicks. Yeah, and then Nicks fell off fast, right?
Nick started having like
Nick fell off.
hamstring problems,
Foot
and
problems.
hand problems,
Didn't
and
he
a
have a
bunch of
foot problem?
injuries. And it is wild. He was like one of the few people that had like a 4XL glove. His hands
Yeah, he had
were huge,
monstrous
and he was like a
hands.
freak of nature. He could catch everything, but I think it was ultimately injuries. And I don't know why. It was Steve Smith. Remember the other Steve Smith that was on the
Mhm.
Giants too? He had knee problems. He had to leave. I don't remember if he
I
was
don't
on
know
the
if
team.
he was on that team, but what
He might
Ramses
have been.
Barden was on that team
Um,
for sure. Dominique Hickson was on that team.
Dominique Hickson we
for
got on here. We got
sure.
Ramsey Barden. Brandon Jacobs is still there. Bear Pasco. Yeah, I don't see Steve Smith on here.
No, he might have been gone
Um,
by then. He was on the first Super Bowl team.
Brandon Stokely. He popped up a lot when I was looking through shit. Brandon Stokely popping
was on a
around.
bunch of teams. Had a bunch of cups of coffee.
But yeah, that's my 10. Bringing home the Super Bowl.
So here it goes. I said off air that I didn't do this by stats. I did this by heart and brain and soul. But I know the stats do matter. Number 10, and this is why I chose it and I know it sucks because they didn't do this really together during that time. But the Arizona Cardinals with Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden, and Steve Breston. Remember him?
Yeah, I remember Steve.
So the
Kinda,
year
yeah.
prior to 2010, they all went over 1,000 yards. The year after that, 2010, 2011, they did do okay. They did have some good seasons. It was still, I'm not wrong, right? It was still Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like I had to put Larry Legend somewhere in there.
Yeah,
I
I was
feel like-
trying to do the
I
same
feel
thing.
like
I just
I've
couldn't.
Thought about, honestly, I almost had Anquan Bolden twice, but I didn't. 'Cause
I mean, Anquan Bolden was
I
lit.
try not to repeat teams. And I
Right.
tried not to repeat.
Oh, I repeated teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I tried not to. That's why I have the Saints and yeah.
But whatever. Yeah, so that's 10. I got to give a shout out to probably 2 Hall of Famers, Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitzgerald.
Definitely.
I mean, Larry
one-
Fitzgerald is
Definitely one.
Well,
Hall.
an elite
Yeah.
lock. Yeah.
So go ahead, number 9.
My number 9 is the 2010 New England Patriots. Wes Welker, 86, 848, 7 scores. Deion Branch, 48 for 706 and 5 scores. Gronk, I believe this is their rookie year. Gronk, 42, 546, 10 touchdowns. Aaron Hernandez, 45, 563, 6 touchdowns. This was the beginning of what was going to become
Yeah.
a reckoning
Yes.
in the NFL for the next 4 years. Not even, roughly 4 years.
Yeah. No, this is where it started, for sure.
This is not the last time we'll hear from the New England Patriots on this list.
Absolutely not.
It's the baby of the big three that I have spearheading this list at some point. And Wes Welker, I mean...
Got me a little nervous for a second.
Wes Welker is definitely not done. He shows up many more times.
Many more times.
Multiple times.
All right. So, my number 9, this team wound up going to the Super Bowl, lost in the Super Bowl, but we did watch this at Alessino's family's house. It was the Los Angeles Rams, Woods, Brandon Cooks again, and Cooper Kupp.
2018.
2018. Did I say something? Yeah, 2018. Yep. I mean, yet again, another Brandon Cooks team. You got Woods 86 for 1,200. Cooks 80 for 1,200. So you got two 1,200 wide receivers. Woods with 6 touchdowns. Cooks with 5. Gurley still caught 59 for 580 also. And Cooper Kupp, I'm assuming this might be his first or second year. 2018. Oh, no, he's one of those guys that's been in for a while. He just hasn't been.
I'm not sure.
Either way,
exactly.
Cooper Kupp still 40 catches for 566 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, and this is the Jared Goff.
Yeah, the
Rams,
Jared Goff, like, what?
who at the time was still considered a star quarterback.
I was going to say, that was
And then
another
that Super
thing.
Bowl happened, and it was all over.
That's what I was saying.
It's all
When I
over.
was looking at everything, I'm like, wow, Jared Goff had, like, a great season. What the hell happened?
Bill Belichick
Like,
exposed him. And that was
it
the
has
end
to
of
be,
it.
right? Like,
Yeah.
it has to
That
be.
was the end of it.
But, yeah, I mean, not a great team, but I thought the numbers were good. I mean, the Rams are still great now. I had to find a Rams team to put somewhere. I would have put this year's, but obviously, given it's not in the decade.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You had to
for
get the
sure.
Rams on there, at least in some way or another.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. What you got at number 9?
The New York Giants, Hakeem Nicks, Mario Manningham.
All right, my number 8 is the 2011 New York Giants.
All right, that's cool.
Mario Manningham, Victor Cruz.
For everything that you said, and I knew Cruz had a really good year. I did.
Yeah,
And
it's wild.
obviously, Homer, obviously the Super Bowl helps it, for sure.
Yeah.
They finished the job. Hakeem Nicks, he replaced Plaxico, right?
Yes.
From that 07 team.
Yeah, they
He was
drafted
like-
him 2009 draft.
he
Same,
was like
same
that-
draft as Sanchez.
He was like that not direct replacement, but same kind of build, tall, lanky.
Mhm.
When you look at this team, and it's one thing we didn't mention, it's like Victor Cruz, although he was great for a few years, he was never like a superstar. He was, but he wasn't. Like the longevity of it, like you look at some of the other guys that you had on the list, like you named in the honorable mentions,
Yeah.
Michael Thomas, Larry Fitzgerald.
Well, he was pretty old by the time he
No, by the time he
made
broke in.
team,
100%.
right?
I understand all that.
Because I remember him being.
But that's
There
not
was
a
that
star
year.
studded.
There was that year he lit up the Jets in the preseason, game,
yeah.
and then you never heard of him again for like 2 seasons.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So they didn't really have a so-called
and that
receiver.
for what he did in his short span.
He killed it.
New York
100%.
Giants football is shut them down and smash it down their throat. It
Mhm.
always has been. They're one of the only teams in the league that has maintained an identity throughout the entire history of the NFL. They want to lock you down and they want to smash it down your throat.
Yeah.
So to put up those kind of numbers on a team, and they still were locking you down and smashing it down your throat that year.
Yeah, but they did.
Like,
But the numbers, they did put up the numbers. They did. You don't think?
the receivers?
Obviously,
No, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
That's what
They-
I'm saying. What is what makes it impressive.
So that's my number 9, and then that's
That was my number 8.
Okay.
So
All right, so number 8 for me, the infamous 33 touchdown, 30 interception season by Jameis Winston with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, 2019. Obviously, not much came from the team. What, you don't like this pick?
I didn't even think of
I
this.
was-
Really?
I
You
was-
didn't like this pick?
I was literally gonna put it
Dude.
as an honorable
I
mention.
love 30 and 30, James.
Listen, just listen.
It's not a more exciting
Chris
player in
Godwin,
football.
86 receptions, 1,333 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Mike Evans got 67 receptions, 1,100 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And motherfucking Brashad Perryman, 36 receptions for 645 yards and 6 touchdowns. I mean, not a team that really got anywhere, but I'm a big Jameis fan, honestly. But
Jameis Winston's the most exciting player in football.
he has to be.
Because he's the only player. He's the only player when he takes a snap. As soon you don't know, 21 other people on the field could end up catching that ball
Yeah.
by the end of the play on any given play. Anybody's in play to be the one on top of that football. Any given snap, dude.
I just thought the numbers were good. I remember watching the season and even watching a football Sunday at Alcino's, just being constantly enamored. Each week it just got better.
So they were
We were
constantly
We were
down.
very excited.
They
Oh,
were
it's the
constantly
best.
down and throwing the piss out of it. Yeah, because I remember there were like 2 games left and he needed 6 interceptions to get to 30, and I was like, "You can do it, buddy.
Yeah.
I believe in you."
Yeah.
And he threw 4 the next
Yep.
week. And I was like, "You only need 2 to get to 30.
And then
you
he-
can do that."
And then he came out the next season in the offseason. He's like, I'm getting LASIK this year. Or maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
That
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then he tore his ACL.
I hope Jameis does good on the Saints.
Yeah,
no, I
can't
like
do
I like
I
hope he
love
kills it.
Jameis.
I do. I
Big
really do.
Jameis fan.
Okay, number 8 for me.
Yes, sir.
The 2014 Chicago Bears. Here we go. Matt Forte, 102 receptions, 808 yards. Alshon Jeffries, 85 receptions, 1,133 yards, 10 touchdowns. Marcellus Bennett, 90 receptions, 916 yards, 6
That's wild.
touchdowns. Brendan Marshall, 61 receptions, 720 yards, 8 touchdowns. They also had Santonio Holmes on that team, and
Cool.
and Marquise Wilson just for fun, just for yelling it out there. And that was Mr. J, Mr. Sig Smoke and Jay Cutler throwing him the rock.
Yeah.
Smoking Jay
So-
Cutler, baby.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I think now, don't get me wrong, they finished 5-11.
Yeah.
But statistically, and that's really what I was doing when I was looking at this. I'm like trying to find I was really looking for duos. You know what I mean? Like the Alshon, who was that guy? Brendan Marshall. Brendan Marshall connection. That's
I
what
can't remember the last time I thought about Alshon Jeffrey.
Oh my God.
I can't remember.
And you
the last
forget,
time
I thought the
but
same-
you forget he was elite.
Yes. I thought
Absolutely
the
elite.
same exact thing when I was looking at stats. I'm like, Alshon was killing it.
He
For
was
a small window of
absolutely
time.
elite.
Yeah.
And like these teams of the Chicago Bears is so long gone. Like I just feel like every receiver, including our man Moonshot Mooney, is like living in purgatory for years. I mean,
Justin Fields might be. It might change now.
maybe, but people were crying for Allen Robinson to get out of there.
Yeah. Well, Allen Robinson
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Allen Robinson's gonna smash the touchdown button.
Oh,
this
Yeah.
year, dude.
Smash it.
Yeah.
Smash it.
I really think he's gonna kill it.
They're my number 8 team. Matt Forte obviously put the icing
Yeah.
on the cake on
Wild,
it.
right?
You forget how good Matt Forte
No,
was.
Matt Forte was amazing.
And Marcellus Bennett with 90 catches.
Yeah.
I guess when you're playing down behind all the time,
Yeah,
5 and
you're
11,
slinging the rock, baby.
throwing
James
double
So
Winston.
this is what I wanted to say. Like when you look at these bad teams with the good numbers, it's because they're down a lot and chasing all the time.
Yeah.
The fucking Bucks that
I was
year
gonna
could
say,
not
the
play much
33 and
defense.
30
They
team.
were down all the time.
Yeah.
So they were slinging it. They were going into halftime going like, all right, Jameis, you're going to throw the ball 33 times in
Yeah.
the second
Are you
half.
ready?
Yeah. Like, so that does happen when you have the bad teams that are always down.
That's it.
So we're up to me for 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 2018 Los Angeles Rams. We did their
Nice.
numbers already because Brian had them on there. Ultimately, when we think of these teams, we're going to think about how just awful Jared Goff was,
Yeah.
right? And ultimately what happened with Stafford coming in. But it all starts with that Super Bowl, like we were saying before, because you think back to this season, and this offense was super explosive. Can you
Yeah.
do me a favor and give me their total offense numbers
For this season?
from 2018?
Yeah, I could look
Like
it up
their
real quick.
total offensive ranks. Because the reason that the Buck had to stop at 7, right? We're at 7. The reason the Buck stopped here with this team is because it's one of those teams that was a super explosive offense.
Oh my god, yeah, this is nuts. All right, so ranks, team rank points per game, second, yards, second, plays, PLY, plays, right? Yeah, plays, fourth, average, second, rush yards, third, rush attempts, eighth, rush average, third, passing yards, fifth, attempts, 14th, average, fourth, and now we're in defense. But yeah, I mean everything's pretty much top 5 except
Top
for
5 statistically
passing
across
attempts.
the board.
Yeah,
So, I mean, even the yardage is there. The double 1,200-yard seasons for Cooks and Woods is there. But then 6 touchdowns and 5 touchdowns. Well, yeah, that's because Todd Gurley probably had 20 total touchdowns that year.
I mean probably that
4
was.
receiving.
I think that was his big season before he kind of started.
The turf toe or the ankle or whatever he had got.
Yeah, I mean man had 17 rushing touchdowns
and 4 receiving, so he had 21
Yeah.
total touchdowns.
Yeah,
How good is your boy, dude?
man,
So
Todd
that's where they're
Gurley,
at
too.
for me. The 2018 Rams. Thank God they got Matty Stafford in there. I'm a big Matt Stafford guy.
Well, Matt Stafford was due for sure. I mean, we
But
watched.
to
it.
say we know.
We know you're a big Matt Stafford guy,
Yeah.
but we both believe that. Remember? Come on, do we have to cut the clip?
No, we cut the clip once
Do we
already.
insert clip here again? What,
Yeah.
dude? You could be bashful. You could.
Yeah, the day they fucking traded for
No,
Matt
no,
Stafford.
It goes cut clip here.
I'm not going to be able to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, we're not there yet.
Yeah, no.
We're not there yet. But one day,
One day.
when I go like this, we cut the clip in, and then
It's going to be right
it
here.
goes to Jimmy going on episode fucking 4 of Parlay-Vous. That Matt Stafford trade brings multiple rings. That's what he said. Do I sound like you?
No.
Well, then we
Alright.
still have to get a couple more rings before we can use
We
the
need
clip.
one
so
more.
hopefully by
One
that
more ring.
point
We need
we
one
can
more.
edit.
We need one more.
Yeah.
I said not Super Bowl, Super Bowls.
Plural.
Plural, as in more than one, is word for word what I said. So you're up for number 7.
So
Shit.
number 7, baby. The 2018 Pittsburgh Steelers. Antonio Brown and Juju. And let me tell you what,
Wait. Number 7, 2018 Pittsburgh
dude,
Steelers.
the season is nuts. This stat lines are insane. Ready? Juju Smith, 111 receptions for 1,426 yards, 7 touchdowns. Antonio Brown has 104 receptions, 1,297 yards for 15 touchdowns. And then after them is Lance Vance McDonald.
Woo!
Got 50 receptions for 610
Can I ask you a question?
and 4
when you're done?
touchdowns. Yeah.
Well, how many receptions was the running back? The running back have?
James Conner,
All right, this is James Conner.
55 receptions for a touchdown.
So
It's not Lev Bell. at this
that was
point.
the last year that Big Ben was like good, right? Can
So
we-
I
can we
was going to
that?
say this also. Now that you're saying this, I think this is interesting. Did Big Ben make Juju and Antonio Brown both good?
No, Antonio Brown was good on his own.
Really?
I truly believe that Antonio Brown's.
Well, not to say
Talent?
that Antonio Brown's not talented, but he has
Yeah.
not played at that level.
I think
Since
No, I
then.
think he
it's
just has
mental.
CTE.
I think it's mental.
I think
Right.
when he's on
Okay.
the field,
I'm not going to
yeah.
assume he has CTE.
Plus-
Right, all right,
but I think
so make the
that's
He's
argument
respectful.
also 34 years old now.
Right. Okay, I get what you're saying. So then make the argument for Juju. Juju, who's younger.
100%.
Juju hasn't
Ben-
left yet, so let's
Yeah,
find out.
well,
He's
he
got
did now.
Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
now, so I guess we're gonna find out, right?
No.
But I do agree with you. I do think it was
okay.
probably the last year.
If he
No.
sucks with Mahomes,
But I feel like we already found out. I agree. I think you're right. I think we already found out.
about
So you
Juju,
don't think he gets better going on the Chiefs is what you're saying. You think it's going to be the same thing.
No.
Sammy Watkins 2.0?
100%.
That's what I think is going to happen
100%.
too.
100%.
But anyway, to go back to what you were saying, I do think this was probably the last year that Big Ben probably had it going.
Right.
2019 on, it kind of started getting, he hurt the thumb and then the elbow
Yeah,
and
he's
then
40.
yeah. So
Yeah, I agree completely.
But-
while we're on this, rest in peace to Heinz Field, by the way.
right,
Oh, yeah,
what is?
horrible.
How do you even say that name?
No.
Arkansas.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
this
assume
morning.
it's like a bank or
No
a-
idea what
or
that
a
is.
finance company.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Yeah,
probably like a finance company.
They're all banks and finance companies now, or insurance companies. I'm up for number 6,
Yeah.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
We're swinging.
All right. The second of 3 heads. Excuse me here. The 2012 New England Patriots. Welker 118 for 1354 and 6. Brandon Lloyd. Shout out Brandon Lloyd. dude. 74 for 911 and 4. Gronker 55 790 11.
Gronker.
Aaron Hernandez, 51, 483, and 5 touchdowns.
Because he's got the Metallica shirt on.
Is that why? I mean, people call him Gronker. I didn't just make that up.
No, I never heard that in my life.
Okay, Berman calls him
Only
Gronker.
people with
The
Metallica
legend,
shirts?
dude. The legend of fucking calling football calls him
honestly-
Gronker.
I was only joking.
Well, it got personal.
Well, I see.
So, again, another explosive year for Wes Welker, Tom Brady, and the New England Patriots. The arrival of Brandon Lloyd, which did they get him in free agency that year? I feel like they sent like a late round pick.
Yeah,
to the
I think so
Broncos for him.
too.
A conditional
Yeah.
7 for him. Does it hurt putting like your rival team on?
This is what I
something
said.
like
I show you how much I didn't use my heart, dude.
that? Yeah.
Hey, this is one of those things, like, they were so good at that point, and the Jets,
Who gives
like,
a fuck?
I knew going into the 2010-2011 season, the way the Jets had built themselves, you have a 1-year window, and it's going to get bad for a while. I would have never told you 12 years it would be bad. But you knew it was going to be fun because they had so many old guys and so many backloaded contracts.
Yeah.
That, like, they were so, like, Zach Taylor was on that team for his final year in the NFL. LaDainian Tomlinson was on that team.
Yeah.
Thomas Jones was off the team by that point. But the receivers, Santonio Holmes was getting older and had a bunch of money eating away at cap. Braylon Edwards was getting older.
Braylon Edwards, yeah.
The offensive line, Mangold, Faneca, Brick. I forgot the guard and the other tackle they had. But if you look all over that team, Calvin Pace, David Harris was getting older. All the
Calvin
guys on
Pace,
defense were
jeez,
getting older.
yeah.
Sean Ellis was in his late 30s at this point. Like, you knew that if it didn't work out, they were going to be in a bad position. And
Yeah.
it was going to be up to Sanchez to bring him back out of it. And I didn't ever believe Sanchez was that guy, you know? So I just knew we weren't going to be good anyway. And, like, they were going to kick the shit out of us no matter what. So, like, it is, at that point, some of
This
the greatest
decade is what
offensive
it
football
is.
we've seen. And I didn't even look up Hernandez's rushing yards, but he was lining up and taking a lot of
Oh, right,
handoffs
yeah.
that year too, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not 100% sure that was that year,
He-
but yeah, it was a year that they were giving the ball to him.
Fucking murder.
6. Whoa. 6.
So
Allegedly.
number 6.
He was convicted.
Well, he did murder himself, but go ahead.
Oh my god. So number 6.
Can't take that away from
Kind of like off the radar, I guess, but the 2012 Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I knew that was going to be the reaction, but I mean, the stats aren't bad. They were an 8-8 team, so nothing too crazy. But I mean, Jason Witten, 110 receptions for 1,000 yards,
He did that
3
He did
touchdowns.
that every year for 10 years.
Des Bryant, 92 receptions for 1,300 yards, and 12 touchdowns. So
Who was that second receiver?
their
Miles
second receiver
Austin?
was Miles Austin, who I also did. This was the whole reason I brought this up. Miles Austin, 66 for 943 and 6 touchdowns. So everyone getting a little bit of everything.
Miles Austin out of Monmouth
Um,
University. I
Also,
believe.
DeMarco Murray, 35 receptions for 250.
Miles Austin is like every small school's hero. So, like, Miles did it. You could
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Like,
Miles was 1 in a million, pal.
although also I guess Josh Allen's one of them
Are
now,
you-
too.
Are you good?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's nothing like, it wasn't flashy or crazy. They were just kind of a boring kind of team. But I don't know, Witten having over 1,000 yards and Austin almost having 1,000 while Des Bryant still
3
has
guys
is
almost
kind of.
having 1,000 is pretty good.
I think that
I think that's the benchmark.
Again, another two. They weren't killing it on defense that year, right?
I would assume
8-8?
not. Yeah, 8-8. I don't even think they were. The Redskins won the
'Cause-
division that year, so it was probably the Robert Griffin time.
Now,
2012 was his
Right?
rookie
Am I
year.
wrong?
2012 would have been his rookie year. 2012 draft, yeah.
That's when he made the playoffs, right?
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
tore his ACL in the
Right,
playoffs.
so yeah,
and
yeah.
that was it.
Yeah,
The
so
Robert
that's-
Griffin show lasted 1 season.
Yeah.
like
It's
you
fair.
talk about it like he's mad.
No,
The way you
no,
do that.
It just
It's not
sucks.
that I'm
and that's
mad.
it. 1
No,
year,
no,
it's
no.
over.
It's
dude.
all we got.
Yeah.
No, well, first of all,
Go ahead, rip your heart out.
where did he play in college? Who did
Baylor.
Baylor,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah.
I'm trying to think. What did he do in college? Did he do anything to
Play
Oregon in
quarterback.
college?
I can't even say it without
Did he
laughing.
do anything to Oregon in
I don't
college?
know.
I don't know. No, but I'm obviously a big Oregon
Let me
guy.
ask you something. Were you a Luck or were you a RG3 guy? And don't lie.
Look,
Like,
so this is what I'm getting at.
all right.
RG3 going into the draft when people were arguing that he should have went number 1, and I was like, no, like you can't run around in the NFL. Guys are too fast. He's too small. He's gonna get hit. Like, it's not gonna work. And 2, Baylor runs a one read and go system. Wide receivers come out of Baylor and don't know how to run routes, getting drafted in the top 4 rounds of the NFL draft. They only know how to run a go route, a drag route, and like that's about it, dude. Bubble screen. Because it's a very simple spread it out offense. I'm not making it up. Especially
I agree.
that
Stanford
system
runs a pro system.
That system that they were running.
Right.
And it's literally like call it at the line.
Right.
So you're like, we know we're in this formation. All right, this is what you were doing. And it's like you're running a go route, you're doing drags on the backside, and he's doing a bubble screen.
Pro set.
Yeah.
Under center.
And if one guy's not open, what do? You tuck it and run.
Right, that's the Baylor.
That's RG3.
So, all right, I hear you. I mean,
and even when he was killing it,
can I ask him what was Louisville's offense when
similar?
And Lamar Jackson just adapted.
Similar, yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious.
But my point was that even that whole year, his whole rookie year, they were killing it with the play action game with Alfred Morris and the read option, which now people are ready for again. But back then they weren't doing it in the NFL a lot. And then they would get to the point where it's the double play action because I'm going to pull it from Alfred Morris and then I'm going to look like I'm running. And then I'm throwing it. Who was the tight end that killed it that year? Taylor? Was it Fred Taylor? That's a running back.
Vernon Davis? No, that's too far gone.
Not the guy that got the concussions all the time?
Jordan Reed, yeah.
Jordan Reed.
Wide open, dude. He'd pull that ball out of Alfred Morris's stomach, and there's not a guy 4 yards in a 4-yard fucking vicinity of the tight end. And he's just playing catch. The minute it got tight, he never made a lot of impressive throws in tight windows in college, in the NFL, and then he got hurt.
Can I ask you something? And I know this is getting a little off topic, and I don't want to do this because we do have a Parlay-Vous podcast, but isn't that Jalen Hurts?
Yes and no. I think Jalen's problem is he just holds it too long.
Okay, because I feel like it's a one read. If it ain't open, he's looking to run, and he's not looking to throw anymore.
It's not even that he's looking to run. He holds the ball too long, and it's like the guy's open. You see him double clutch, and he doesn't move on to a progression. He still looks at the same guy, and then pressure comes, and now I got to move.
Because that's also probably Daniel Jones's same.
Because, the difference between open in college and open in the NFL is it's fucking laughable, dude. It's not the same.
No, 100%.
But no, I wouldn't make the same argument with Jalen Hurts schematically because Nick Saban's not running no cockamamie program down there.
Cockamamie, bro. No cockamamie programs over here. Number 6, please. Jesus Christ. 2008. 2018 Rams.
Oh, we all got a little bit of Rams. You got a little bit of it.
But here's the thing. I just want to make that known. I don't hold it against them that they were number 1 in plays and this and that and this and that. I don't hold it against them that they were a super high pace offense. When you were like, well, I could have put them higher or lower, I should say. Right? Like I really, really could have put them in the top 4 if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least what I'm looking at, my top 4 is legitimate.
No way.
My brain, like my heart and soul of watching football. When you tell me like name wide receivers, these like name cores, these are the first things that come to my mind. And other than that, I think they might have been able to be there, but they'll take 6 for what it is, and we take a break, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, listen. Pat McAfee said it best. You got to look good to feel good. You got to feel good to play good. Well, we're going to help you guys look good with Saatchi di Dinero, all right? It's the finest Italian material. It's fire. It's comfortable. And we got a saving for you, all right? You're going to use promo code HAVOC for 10% off your total purchase at SaatchiDiDinero.com. Also, check them out over at Instagram at Saatchi di Dinero. Saatchi di Dinero, always authentic, never counterfeit.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the show. It's time for the top 5 wide receiver cores of the 2010s decade. It's number 5. Are you gonna be okay?
I just it wasn't
maybe arguably a little too low. I don't really give a fuck. Yeah, low is in not high enough towards 1.
So, okay.
The 2018 Kansas City Chiefs.
Wait, stop. We'll just start it going this way.
Okay.
Number 5 is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Nope, not me.
All right.
Loser.
Travis Kelce, 103 grabs, 1336, 10 scores. Tyreek Hill, 87 grabs, 1,479 grabs, 12 scores.
Yards. 1,400 yards.
79 yards, sorry. 12 scores. Number 3, Sammy Watkins, 40 grabs, 519 yards, 3 touchdowns.
He's just there to be there, Sammy. I mean,
Yeah.
having fun.
And then it gets worse as you look down after
definitely
that.
gets worse.
It's like everybody after that is close to single digits.
Don't tell me this is based off statistics, because it's not. It's based off of what the eye test saw.
Well, the
with
reason
Tyreek
that it's
Hill.
5 and no higher is based off of the statistics. The
Yeah.
fact, like, it's based off of statistics and the fact that it gets all the way up to 5 because you have a tight end who catches 103 balls for well over 1,000 yards and 10
No,
touchdowns.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
And
it's wild.
He's still not the number one pass catcher on the team. Then you have Tyreek Hill with his numbers,
So
but the stats are the same reason that it doesn't go any higher than 5 because it's a two guy deal, and Patrick Mahomes might go down as one of the best to ever do it, which is not necessarily something that should really put the brakes on the rest of this list because we're talking about Hall of Fame quarterbacks the rest of the way anyway. But yeah, ultimately it's just a 2-guy deal, and then it gets pedestrian at best after that. Is why they stopped at 5 for me.
yeah, I agree with that. Like I said, I think it's the complete eye test when it comes to Tyreek Hill. Like I think that's the year.
Well, things
where,
Tyreek Hill would do is just
but that's
like
the year. It's like, okay, so nobody can guard him. Okay, so Patrick Mahomes holds the ball for 11 seconds, scrambles
Yeah,
out
because
and throws 70 yards.
you
And
res-
Tyreek Hill is just standing
Yeah, but
still.
Not even that though. That's like the year. It's like, oh, we're gonna respect his speed. We're giving him 12 yards off the line of scrimmage. Cool. He's gonna catch the ball a yard and a half off
Dip
the
it out
line.
anyway.
Catches it a yard and a half off of the line of scrimmage, and then goes for 57 yards. Makes your entire secondary look stupid on the way to a peace out.
Yeah.
You can't catch me in
Right.
the end zone.
Right. So that's why they're 5.
I mean, it's neither here nor there, but I cannot wait to see what happens with him this year.
I'm very with Tua.
Hill?
With Ty Hill,
Yeah.
and Tua.
It's gonna be very interesting.
I'm just saying, I think Zach Wilson might have been better for him legacy-wise if he was picking over Tua.
100% agree.
yeah.
But I get
wasn't
it.
about that.
No, it's about the no state tax. It's about being in
It's about the
Miami.
money.
It's about this is where he's
And that's
from.
okay.
No,
And
it
he's got
wasn't
the
even
rings
about
already.
the money because
It was about the money. It
no,
was.
because the Jets had the deal worked out with him too.
No, I thought that Miami had more money with him.
They might have had they offered the Chiefs more. The deals were very similar in structure.
Okay.
The Chiefs gave him the choice, and he chose Miami because that's where he's from. He already had a house down there, no state income tax. Like, if you could live in fucking Jersey or Miami and everything else is the same, what would you do? I'd pick Miami too.
Miami.
Yeah.
You're asking a silly question.
Not to mention, he's going to save roughly $25-30 million on state income tax
Yeah.
on
Right.
that contract. So it's a no-brainer. But, I mean, legacy-wise, I think Zach Wilson would have been better off because if Tua flames out the way we think he might, then
The
they're
way that
either
we think he might.
then they're either playing this game where they're trying to get one of these quarterbacks who always seems to shake loose every year,
Yeah.
or they're looking to start over with another kid, and then you're starting with a kid at the end of your prime,
Which is tough.
which is tough.
Yeah, especially when you're a speed receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. My number 5, the 2012 Atlanta Falcons.
Oh.
The Julio Jones, Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez. They went 13-3 that year, lost to the Niners in the championship game, but I mean, like I said with all of them, the numbers are there. I mean, Tony Gonzalez had 93 receptions for 930 yards. He was the leading receiver as far as like receptions. But Roddy White, 92 for 1,300 yards, and Julio Jones, 79 for 1,198. So you got 2 wide receivers over 1,100 yards, and your tight end 70 yards away from a 1,000-yard season. So
Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
forgot about
I
that
mean, peak
offense,
Matty
that
Ice
offense.
too. You know, I didn't mention it, but Gonzalez with 8 touchdowns, Roddy with 7, and Julio with 10.
That the year that they you said they went 13-3.
They went
that year?
13-3,
Is that the
lost
year
to the
they
Niners.
they crushed it and then got romped in the first round of the playoffs?
I don't think so. No, they lost 28-24 to the Niners in that game. I think
Was
it
that
might
round
be a different
one?
season. No, they lost in the second round.
Maybe it was. I remember one year they were like crushing everybody, and then they got romped in the first game in the playoffs.
I think that was when they versed the Giants. Am I wrong?
Could have been the Giants.
Yeah, I think it was
might have
that
been
year.
when
I think it was the Giants made
beat
the
'em
Super
up.
Bowl.
So the year
yeah.
before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just felt like when I was looking at all the stats, the Falcons, I had to get them on the list. It was just a matter of which team you were going to choose, I feel like. And what really sold it for me was Gonzalez. Like I said before, I mean, they're already over 1,100. The receivers. I mean,
before a guy by the name of Travis Kelce showed up, he was the all-time probably best tight end to ever play.
yeah, without a doubt, Tony Gonzalez.
yeah. And
Him
then
or
Travis,
Gates,
and then Travis
you know.
Kelce came along. Well, it was
Yeah.
always Gates or Tony, but I think Tony probably has the edge over Gates a little bit.
But yeah, that's my number 5.
Number 4, going on a run from the same year right now. We're going
All right.
little run. Number 4 is going to be the 2011 New Orleans Saints. This was the year Jimmy Graham then broke. I'm sorry, not Jimmy Graham. Drew Brees then broke the passing record. I believe he threw for 5270 something. We got Jimmy Graham, leading receiver, 99 grabs, 1,310 yards, 11 scores. Second leading receiver in terms of catches, not yardage, Darren Sproles, 86 catches, 710 yards, 7 touchdowns. Marcus Colston, 80 catches, 1,143 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And then the third receiver in that group was Lance Moore, 52 catches, 627 yards, and 8 touchdowns. That offense was stupid that year. Drew Brees was slinging it all over the fucking yard.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had another, was that? No, it wouldn't have been Matt Murray. Who was their other running back at
Mark
that point?
Ingram.
No.
Darren, I can look it up real quick. 2011.
Yeah.
So is Darren Sproles? Yeah, why can't I remember?
DeMarco Murray?
On
Ooh,
the Saints?
Oh, sorry.
No.
I got fucked up. I got so fucked up.
Pierre Thomas
Pierre Thomas.
and Mark Ingram
Oh, young Mark Ingram?
and Chris Ivory. They had 4
yeah.
running backs go
Yeah,
over.
that was when Chris
Yeah.
Ivory was buried on the depth chart for a while.
Ivory had 300, Sproles had 600, Pierre had 500, and Ingram had 4. So everyone kind of got
Yeah, everyone ate.
a little bit of everything.
It was really Drew Brees' season.
Yeah, 5,476 passing yards for Brees on 46 touchdowns.
What was it?
5,476 on 46 touchdowns.
Oh, so it was 200 off.
14 interceptions. That fucking ratio is insane.
Is this the year they won the Super Bowl?
This is
Was
the
this-
year they lost against the Niners, 36-12 in the divisional
Yeah,
game.
this is the year the Packers won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, 2011 Saints.
Should I go? Or...
Yeah, you're up.
Yeah.
Well,
Number
because I know I flipped it. All right, so here we go. I made a mistake, and it's not cherry limeade mistake, but
Okay.
it's definitely a mistake. I went with my heart, and then I looked up the stats, and they seem a little raw. But I'm going to go with it anyway because on this show, we have full transparency. I don't want to be that guy. Number 4, the 2015 Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
So,
Doug Baldwin.
I was about to say, yeah, Doug Baldwin.
Doug Baldwin,
Pierre-
Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
Percy Harvin.
No,
No.
Jermaine Kearse.
Yeah, I was going to say
And
Jermaine Kearse.
Jimmy Graham. I believe it was his first year there.
Probably.
So, again, the eye-popping thing is Doug Baldwin, 80 receptions, 1,069 yards, and 14 touchdowns.
Yeah, 14 touchdowns is pretty
So
wild.
this was Russell Wilson's coming out party, I guess, even though he was kind of
Well, this is Legion of Boom beginning to fall apart, so probably
all on him.
needing to sling it around a little bit
Right.
more.
So he had 34 touchdowns this year. Anyway, the 14 Doug Baldwin stands out. Kearse had 5. Jimmy Graham had 2. He really wasn't that good. But 600 yards. 700 yards for Jermaine Kearse and 650 for Tyler Lockett with 6 touchdowns. So kind of pedestrian, but I do remember those guys being like almost like the Giants. How are they that good with I never thought that any of those guys were superstars.
I
Right.
knew Baldwin had a couple of good years.
He did,
but even at that point,
Remember, he was this was 2 years away from career-ending injury.
yeah.
Right? So, again, does it feel like a cherry limeade a little bit, but we'll let it go. It can't be that bad.
I
don't think it's
stand
that
the
bad.
Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, the
Whatever.
Seahawks kind
I
of
can't
Fuck
stand the
Pete
Cowboys,
Carroll,
and he
dude.
put him there, so whatever. Number 4, Brian.
So number 4, this is also kind of in the same boat. The numbers are kind of there, but I thought it's definitely my most surprising pick by far. But someone mentioned this earlier, different year though. 2013 Chicago Bears. Brandon Marshall, Alshon, and Martellus Bennett.
So 1 year earlier.
Yeah, essentially 1 year earlier. An 8-8 team. I'll be honest, Brandon Marshall is probably my favorite wide receiver that's played, so I'm kind of biased in that sense. But I mean, you heard the stats from the year that I don't know which one of you guys. I'm sorry, brought it up before,
Me?
but even the stats for this year: Brandon Marshall, 100 receptions, 1295, on 12 touchdowns. Alshon, you got 89 receptions, 1421, and 7 touchdowns. Martellus Bennett, 65, 759 for 5, and Matt Forte, 74, 594, and 3 touchdowns. So, like, I mean, the numbers are just ridiculous. And another team, now that we're kind of going through it, another 8-8 team where I'm assuming probably in the same boat we were talking about before.
Not
No
great on
defense. We're just slinging it for every single
Or
offensive-
Jay's throwing a fucking pick 6 because Crazy Jay with his arm strength thought he could fit any ball in any window.
Well,
He was a lot like Favre, honestly. Like, Cutler gets a bad rap because
100%.
he gets a bad rap
Well,
because they never won.
now that I'm looking at it here, Josh McCown played 8 games.
So maybe something happened.
Yeah, something must have happened.
Because, like, that year earlier than that, when they played in I think it was the NFC Championship game, when he got hurt and they lost, and everyone's like, oh, he didn't want to go back in. Like, he should have played through the pain, and he got crushed for that.
Yeah.
He had a torn MCL on his left knee. Like, he couldn't step into throws.
Right.
So you want a quarterback out there in the playoffs that can't step into the ball?
No.
No,
Josh
you're
McCown
being
was
silly.
serviceable, so I don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was good. He had
You know
1,800
what I mean?
yards.
It's not like fucking Daniel Jones is going out there.
No.
Go ahead, go win us a game.
Yeah, no.
Number 3, right?
Yes, sir.
I feel good about the 3s.
While I'm doing this, can you find out who has the most 100-catch seasons in the NFL? Because I feel like it's got to be B.
Yeah, I
Marsh.
can look it up. Yeah.
Feel like who?
B. Marsh.
Go ahead. Do your 3.
My number 3 is we're going to complete the third head of the chimera here. It's the 2011 New England Patriots. This is the team where they really said, fuck it, we're going to chuck it. Wes Welker, 122 catches, 1,569 yards, 9 touchdowns. Gronk, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
90 catches, 1,327 yards, 17 touchdowns. Aaron Hernandez, 79 catches, 910 yards, 7 touchdowns. Deion Branch, 51, 702 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
It's a nuts season. It's
Bonkers.
an
Yeah.
absolute Madden type numbers.
This is the year they were crushing
Fucking
everybody.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Crushing everybody. They beat the Jets like 34-3 on Monday Night Football that year, I think.
Yeah. It was probably, we're peaking to what you had mentioned before earlier when you're like, this was kind of the infancy. This was kind of like the next step to where it was going.
This was the
down
big
road.
year that they popped.
Yeah.
This is when Brady started
Also,
crushing it. I think he threw 36 touchdowns. that
Going
year.
back to what you were saying, Antonio Brown and Brandon Marshall are actually tied for the most 100 catch
with
seasons.
how many? 7? 6.
6.
6.
And then after
Who?
that, who do you
Antonio
think's
Brown,
after
who?
that?
Antonio Brown and Brandon Marshall tied with 6.
Who do you think is after that? There's actually 3 after that. They're tied.
Wes Welker.
Wes Welker.
Don't tell me.
Huh.
Don't tell me.
Both from this time period, also kind of in the same area. One's a little bit earlier, but we mentioned him earlier. One of them,
Is it Lloyd?
Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald,
Alright,
and there's
sure,
one
makes
more.
sense.
So good.
He's a little bit earlier than 2010 though.
So good.
He played in 2010s, but he kind of was kind of on the way.
Steve Smith.
Nope,
That was a good guess.
that was a good guess.
Ah, fuck. That was a good guess. I'll give you it.
Do you want me to tell you?
Because when you said Steve Smith, a light bulb, I was like, he got it. Chad.
Nope. You might be upset. You ready?
It's a T.O.
It's Andre Johnson.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck
Yeah, that makes
you.
sense.
Yeah, it's
Because they were bad.
But yeah. Oh yeah. So sorry, I didn't mean to really completely.
No, that's totally fine. Yeah, we were just, I pretty much talked about all I had.
Yeah, the Patriots
2011
that year
Patriots,
it's
that was
nuts.
the machine was running the best it ever has, this iteration of the team. And, Welker's numbers are crazy.
Yeah. The whole thing is
And
nuts.
when I saw Gronk had 17 touchdowns,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, holy shit, dude.
the whole
Yeah.
season is nuts. What do you got at 3 over there?
I'm a fucking mess, dude.
Oh, no.
Come back.
All right. Number 3. We mentioned them before.
I'm trying to pull up the stats, and I can't do it. So go just.
It's not a team I have, I guess.
We mentioned them before.
It is.
You said they were too low. And I agree. I put them at 3. The 2018 and I guess technically 2019 Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, not going to dive too much into it, but obviously they've always been good. They're definitely the greatest receiving core we've had, I feel like, in recent history.
I mean, it's two
For
guys,
the most part. Right, but I mean, what they're doing is still
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
pretty impressive.
I just feel like it. Well, I guess we're gonna partially find out with Tyreek Hill, right? Because how much
Yeah.
of this is Mahomes? Kelsey. Was
I feel like a
around.
lot of it's going to
Kelsey
be
was around before Mahomes was around.
right, and Kelsey was always killing it. It didn't
He
make a
ate,
difference.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know what? Kelsey's still not the best tight end in the league.
Kittle.
Yeah, Kittle's better than him.
Well, Kittle blocks, so
Yeah,
He's the best block.
yeah.
100%.
I'm not going to go too crazy into it, but yeah, 3
Mm-hmm.
would be Kansas City Chiefs for me.
So the reason why I couldn't figure out number 11 was because nothing eye pops until you really, really, really look. And that's what the problem was. I was like, am I looking at the wrong year? What the fuck's going on here?
Right.
Anyway, number 3, 2011, Green Bay Packers. You had
Yeah.
Jordy Nelson.
my number 2 is the 2011 Green Bay
Perfect.
Packers.
So let's do it. So you got Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings,
Michael Finley,
right?
James Jones, and Donald Driver.
All of which had at least 55 catches.
Yeah.
All of which had at least 445
Yeah,
yards.
Donald Driver didn't play 16 games though,
I
so
mean,
like
yeah.
if they all played 16 games, they're all over 500
I mean, whatever.
yards.
We'll go through real quick. Jordy, 68 receptions, 1,263 yards, 15 touchdowns.
Yeah. that's
Greg
wild.
Jennings, 67 receptions. I mean, you talk about spreading the wealth. 67 receptions, 949 yards, 9 touchdowns. Jermichael Finley, 55 catches, 767 yards, 8 touchdowns. James Jones, 55 receptions as well. 635 yards, 7 touchdowns. And then we said Donald Driver, who you said James Jones didn't play the whole year? Or
Donald Driver, I don't think
Driver
played
didn't play
16
the whole year.
games.
56 receptions, 445, and 6 touchdowns. Are you joking?
Yeah, that's
Are
wild.
you joking? So, I mean,
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say about it is that like even Jordy's like the yards and the touchdowns are crazy, but 68 catches is nothing wild. So like when you look at it on paper, nothing crazy
Right.
jumps off the paper at you. But then think about the fact that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fucking guys have over 5 touchdowns at or around 500 receiving yards,
because we've
and
named plenty of teams in these lists that are 2 guys.
2, 3 guys. Yeah.
And now you're basically, I mean, it's like to be able to divide that, like, they went 15-1 that year? What
Yes.
They did, right?
Yeah, they won 15-1
Okay.
that year,
So-
and then they won that Super Bowl, right? They beat the Steelers because the Jets would have had to play them if they beat the Steelers that year. I think that's that
I
year.
think so.
Really? Okay. I'm glad I got my life together.
I
That's your
that's
number
that
2.
year. Yeah.
So now you want my number 2, right?
Well, no, Brian didn't go
Yeah.
too.
Oh, so we're going where we?
We'll swing back this and we'll
I
come
mean,
back to you
alright,
for
it's
2
fine, it's
because
fine,
that was
it's
your
fine.
3. So for number 2, so the stats are good for most of the years. I'll be honest. They're consistently good. I picked specifically the 2012 season, but the Denver Broncos, Demaryius Thomas.
Stop. I also have them,
Okay.
and
He's sighing, so I don't know what's
that
going
sign
on.
means he's won. They're won.
Yeah, but that's not why. It's not. Read the numbers.
Okay. Let me pull them up.
Oh, you didn't have them?
You want
No,
him?
no.
I'll give him to you.
I have them here. I just have to pull them up.
No, the side. Go ahead.
Why? What's the matter, Hawk? What are you stressed out
What's
about?
wrong?
Because the side is that I have 2013, and that is the one.
I have 2013.
Oh, you said 12.
Yeah, I looked at it and then I clicked on the
Yeah.
link. I had
Okay,
13. I
so
hit the
no
wrong
side.
number.
All right, so go ahead. Yeah.
All right, I have the stats.
2013, I have them right now.
Okay, give him to us.
I clicked on. I must have typed the wrong button. My link was going to 2013.
All
So
right,
2013 was
Let's make it known. That's
my
your 2.
season.
That's your 2.
That's my 2.
That's also my 2.
Okay.
And that's my one.
And that's his 1.
2013. Ready?
We are ready.
92 receptions for Demaryius Thomas. 1430 on 14 touchdowns. You got Eric Decker. 87 receptions, 1288, 11 touchdowns. Motherfucking Wes Welker, 73, 778, and 10. And Julius Thomas, 65, 788, and 12 touchdowns. You have 4 receivers with double-digit touchdowns.
This is why I'm saying that
It's
there's no reason that any
insane.
team from this decade should be ahead of them.
Yeah, I
There are
know.
four
There's only
te-
one more
four
I felt
players
should
We
go
made a
ahead
big
of them.
mistake.
4 players with 10 touchdowns each is
It's wild.
fucking
Hold on,
nuts,
hold
dude.
on, hold on.
Today it's nuts
Yeah.
the way we
Is
throw the ball
your
around.
one the same as mine?
What's your one?
It needs to be, right? Because if it's
It
not,
might
then
be.
it's a travesty.
Well, let's go through 2. And
It's
then
already a
we'll talk about
travesty to
one.
me, dude.
Because if not, we really did some injustice to this team.
Well, I don't know who you picked, but I felt like my one was pretty good.
Patriots.
Yeah, 2011.
All right.
No, it's not better than
All right.
the fucking.
You don't think
than the
so?
Broncos. No,
Really?
No.
Well, we're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna have to, I guess.
We don't have to.
I
We can,
just
from
like.
this point on, we can just do a debate because we know now. We know we're 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is gonna. That's across the board. 1 and 2. That's across the board.
I know. I just.
So you got 4. You got 4 wide receivers, or whatever, 3 wide receivers and a tight end with 10 plus touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gronk with
Yeah.
17 touchdowns though. You have 2 tight ends on this
Yeah.
number 1 team that combined for 169 catches, over 3,000 yards.
Over 3,000 yards. What are you talking about? 9, 10 plus
Oh,
13,
I
27.
don't know why. I thought that.
No, that's a slash.
Over 2,000
You
yards.
thought Aaron Hernandez
I
had
don't know.
1,900
I don't know.
receiving
I'm
yards?
looking at it right now.
Yeah.
And 24 touchdowns. That's fucking tight end production, dude. Ugh.
Yeah, but they're in a 2 tight end system.
Who's
So-
fucking Fitz got a? You can't fault him on that.
Yeah, but you're like giving it a bonus because they have 2 tight
how
ends
many
putting
2
up
tight
that
end
numbers.
systems work?
The
like
more I don't know.
Well, that's but was Belichick running that system his entire career?
that? Let me hit you with this. Ready? Name fucking Aaron Hernandez, that motherfucker. Name a more talented. Okay, 2011. Name the top 5 tight ends in football, or the top 3.
I mean,
Are they both?
they're both in there. Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
essentially. Name another time you've seen that.
You don't. The only other times you've seen it is whenever since Hernandez shot that guy. Belichick's been trying to recreate the magic with Hunter Henry and
Yanu.
Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
And he tried it also with who did he try to replace Hunter Henry with the first time? Was it Delaney Walker or not Delaney Walker, but you know what I'm saying? The other there was another tight end. that he put-
Mercedes Lewis.
Not Mercedes Lewis. There was another tight end they put in there, tried to plug and play after Hernandez, and my point is it hasn't worked since then.
It's no fault to that season.
And no, because in the NFL, especially like back before this decade, all the way through 2010 is where it starts to change, really. But this is our club. This is our system. We're going to mold you to fit our system, or it's not going to work, and you're going to go somewhere
Is
else.
Wes Welker a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
That's crazy.
But
I
Bill
agree.
Belichick molds the system to his talent.
Right.
So Bill Belichick saw what he had and said, "We're going to do this by
And none of
design."
that fucking matters. That's at no fault.
Right. So, but
This.
you're the one bringing up the fact that it's 2 tight ends. Like it's to me,
No,
Gronk
that's
is a
the-
wide receiver.
That
Like
is the impressive part. To me, that is part of the impressive part. To me, I don't know about you. That's.
The more I think about it, the
reason-
more I feel like there's. The only reason I give the edge to the Broncos is because it was longer, but they're so similar.
Longer in what sense?
They had a longer run. I feel like
No, but we're talking about these two. We're breaking down.
the 2013 Broncos versus the 2011
Like
Patriots.
now break them down because Wes Welker's on both teams, so you can't really do
Right.
that, right? So, from a standpoint of
yeah, and
24 touchdowns
Welker's
from the tight end
much
position,
older at that point too.
you know what I mean?
I mean, 2 years older, but he's
But,
towards the back
yeah.
end at this point.
I don't know. It's
And playing with Demarius
listen,
Thomas and Eric Decker.
I would love a Twitter poll. I would love a poll to decide this because that's how. I don't think there's a 1-2 battle that we've had that is so in question because
I was gonna say I feel like this is relatively close.
I think it's closer than you think it is.
No, it's close, but I just feel like when the 17 touchdowns on Gronk, like You're letting the fact that it's now 17 touchdowns is crazy no matter what. But how many touchdowns did Tom Brady throw that year? 40? I think Peyton might have thrown 50 in 2013, right?
I'll look up 2013 Broncos.
Brady had 39 touchdowns that year. Damn, how the fuck do you remember this shit?
And I think that's the year Peyton threw 50.
And Peyton threw.
Or maybe Peyton never threw 50.
Peyton threw 55.
55. There you
Jesus
go.
Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they're close.
They're
I could
definitely
see.
close. I just like I
could
said.
see why you edge out the Broncos. Like why you're giving the Broncos the edge for sure.
So
And they didn't win
and
the
it's
Super
also no, they didn't win the Super Bowl. It's also kind of like neither did
Yeah.
2000. Yeah.
Yeah, they lost that year.
They lost.
Giants.
Yeah. So it's a very similar case. I feel
For
like.
me, it's like Gronk is great, right? But Gronk is a physical specimen. Like
Mhm.
nobody could guard Gronk,
Right.
and Brady knew
Right.
that. So no, I'm not trying to take points away from it, but it's
No.
like Gronk is more of like a LeBron kind of thing when you see him, and you're like, holy shit, like that guy was just made to play tight end, and like so much different than everybody else. Like there's no safety that could
Right.
take him down. There's no linebacker that was fast
Let me
enough.
see that one more time. So, because you look at it, you go,
Julius Thomas, undrafted tight end that year.
yeah, it's more impressive though. Like, I don't know, man. It's
close.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is close. Gronk, yes, although he's an absolute freak of nature, like, in my opinion, you have a top 5 player at his position of all time on one of these teams. And one you don't. And that's the difference for me. Like, it's like, in that core, you had an all-time great tight end. You had an all-time great in Rob Gronkowski. And Demaryius Thomas was pretty good. Like, pretty good. Decker was pretty good. Welker was a Hall of Famer.
Walker was incredible that year.
But
yeah.
you may have 2 Hall of Famers on the Patriots. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Julius Thomas was good, but he was, I don't know.
Julius Thomas was incredible that
Yeah.
year.
That
Oh no, well, a couple of
That
years.
year,
Yeah,
you know
well,
what I mean?
you know,
I know we're only talking about this
Peyton
year.
Manning effect.
But this makes me fucking laugh. He's got 65 catches and 12 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Every
That's
fifth
insane.
ball he caught was a goddamn touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing here? I
Well,
don't know.
remember they'd run that little fucking tap pass to him when they got down close too.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, we're gonna have to run the numbers and then fight about it. I hope it ends tied. I can't.
I mean,
But I
That would
wish
be
it did.
great. I don't think it can
You
though.
can't.
I don't know.
Unless where'd you put that team?
It could.
Well,
it
we'll
might.
figure
It might
out.
be.
We'll
Might
figure
be. Yeah. It might be.
All right,
Yeah, I
that's
think-
the list.
I don't even know. We might have to just do top 5 combined for this though, because there's
Yeah,
like,
it's-
we don't have
it's
a lot.
staggered.
Yeah, we don't.
All
have
right. We'll see what it looks like.
Because otherwise, we're gonna like keep playing this game like we played last time.
We're gonna
It's
give 1
not
point.
We have
Yeah.
7 ties.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, good catch.
Go ahead.
Let's take a
Right.
commercial break.
No, you went on.
No, I mean it's time to break.
It's a new year, and with new year comes new resolutions. And what's going to help you complete the resolutions that you set forward for yourself this year? Inspiration. And we have just the company for you that's focused around inspiration. Head on over to staythirstyco.com and put in the code HAVOC to get 15% off on your next order. And make sure you take a look over at the Winter 2022 collection. That's staythirstyco.com. Drop the OY and focus on you.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. As always, best way to support the show is to support the sponsors. You support the sponsors, you're supporting the show, helping the boys, helping us make it big and quit our fucking jobs. We did the numbers, like we were saying before the break. You know, with the oddity, the obscurity, we're talking about a total pool of 320 possible teams. When you look at 32 teams in the league, 10 different years. We went with the top 5. We had a clear 5 at the top. So that's what we decided to go for. And when I get to the page, number 5, 11 points, the 2018 Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah. I think it was the only one all 3 of us had, right? Besides the Chiefs.
Did you have the Chiefs too?
I had the Chiefs, yeah.
Well, I mean, no, it's not the only one all 3 of us had. Most of these we
Right.
Yeah. But it was one of the ones we all had early, and it just collected enough points to get there.
Yeah.
Number 4 with 17 points is the 2011 Green Bay Packers. Number 3 20 points, the 2018 Kansas City Chiefs. And we have a tie.
Oh God, this is it.
28 points apiece.
Yeah.
It's the 2011 Patriots versus the 2013 Broncos.
I mean, we kind of already had the debate.
Yeah, we did this debate
But-
already, but we haven't gotten anywhere with it.
I
Gronk was a freak because Gronk's numbers
Yeah.
are really what's trying, like, making this big jump here, right? The 17 touchdowns.
that's what it is, because it is crazy that, like we said before, the Broncos had 4 receivers with 10 plus touchdowns, and I just feel like not that they negate each other in a way, but it's kind of the same thing.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
So I'm trying to explain this the best way I can. So them having over 10 touchdowns apiece
Right.
is impressive, right? I feel like Gronk having 17. Let there be light. There it is.
And on the third day.
And on the third segment, let there be light.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Okay, go ahead.
That completely fucked up my whole train of thought.
I would bet it did.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is the receivers with 10 plus touchdowns is impressive. I do feel like if we're looking at it from a stats point, the 17 touchdown by Gronk kind of negates
Would there be any way?
some
So
of
it's-
that, at least a little
Would there
bit.
be any way
It's
for you to look? up?
42 touchdowns total for these 4 guys from the Broncos versus 38 touchdowns total from the big four on the
Is
Patriots.
there any way to look up? Has any other wide receiving core or whatever team had 4 guys over 10 touchdowns? Is there a way to look that up?
I could try. I don't know.
Because I would
That's
be
very
curious as
specific.
to see how many. Well, but if it's happened 10 times before, you know what I mean?
I doubt it, dude. Just look at these lists that we made. Like, how many? There are a lot of the teams on the list don't even have one guy that broke 10 touchdowns. You know.
So here's what I think we should do. A little different, but
We should fist fight.
we'll grab a weapon. No. I think we should text the group, our group message. Write what we want on 3-click send of our vote.
What do you
I think.
mean?
Of Broncos Patriots.
I don't have my phone.
You fucking.
You know, it's the camera.
You piece of fucking work, you.
Well, you want to just vote out loud. You want to send a group text that's just the 3 of us in this room?
Well, because at the same time. If we all say it at the same time, it's not like a bunch of morons.
No, that'd be fun.
All right.
What's
I'll
the
cast my
difference,
vote.
Dude? Cast your vote.
Broncos.
All right.
Yeah,
That settles that, I think.
I'm gonna go Broncos.
Hey, let's go, Jim.
All right, we'll give this one to Hawk.
Let's
Honestly,
go, Jim.
you know, it is funny. It's like I said before. I think it was the Gronk stats, the yards from Welker. When at first glance, I was like, this is insane. But then once we started reading through the stats here, and I saw the 10 plus for each of them, I'm like,
Because Jack's not
maybe
here,
they should have been
Because Jack's
first.
not here, I'll say it. Me and Brian got cucked by Tom Brady. We saw Tom Brady and we were like, oh.
I just saw. You know, it
That's
wasn't even
Peyton
Brady.
Manning on the
That's
other
Peyton
end,
Manning
too,
with a
though.
broken damn neck.
No, he was still good in
Was
2013. It was 2015.
No, but he still had the surgically repaired neck at that point.
Oh yeah, he was throwing with the glove
Yeah.
on his hand, but he was dealing, dude.
Yeah.
He could still zip
Obviously,
it.
he was
He could
dealing
still
and dealing.
zip it in 2013. By 2015, it was fucking
Dunzo.
duck hunter, dude.
Yeah, that was tough.
And they won the Super Bowl when he was having.
Yeah, because they rode their defense,
Yeah.
and you know he's smart enough to not lose the games for them. That's how they won that Super Bowl. Von Miller brutalized Cam Newton.
He did. Cam Newton didn't jump on the fumble.
Von Miller won that MVP that year, right?
Yes,
Yeah, that's when. Yeah, you just
he didn't
said
jump
it.
on the fumble,
Yeah, he didn't jump on the fumble.
and everyone was
The
giving
most
him shit for
famous,
it.
the most famous thing. Like that's the thing that people remember Cam for.
Yeah.
He did so many good things.
Yeah.
Like he won an MVP, damn it.
That
And-
same year, yeah.
Yeah,
Same
and
year.
he didn't jump on the fumble. No
Yeah,
matter
dude.
what he says,
It's all about hardware.
no matter what he says, he did not want that ball.
Listen, if it's the Super Bowl, you have to jump on. You have to at least dive towards it.
I know.
You
Look
have
at-
to do
look
something.
at us. Two 30,
Yeah.
three,
No,
three
but like-
30-year-old men going,
guess,
you
but
got to
like-
dive on it.
But so
You're right.
I
It
hate,
is total
I hate
quarterback.
this fucking thing that's
like,
happening now.
couch quarterback, but
I hate this thing that's happening now Like Schaub does it a lot. Whenever anybody says anything about fighting that never fought, he goes, "Oh yeah, because you've done it, right?" Because
You know, all right,
like
so-
listen, dude, not everyone has to have done it.
Oh.
I've been watching fucking fighting for 15
But-
years now. I feel like and now I'm not going to call anyone a pussy or anything like that. But
Right.
like, I'm allowed to fucking have an opinion of the fight just because I never did it before. You
right,
know?
and I feel like,
Like-
even with the Cam thing, like even take the context of like us, 3 non-athletes, like whatever, talking about it. You also have to think, even take it into the context of Cam Newton. You're an NFL athlete. Your competitive drive is so high, it's gotten you this far. You're in the biggest game of your career, in a play that can shift the whole entire game.
It did.
You have to jump on the ball, dude. Like, take
Yeah,
anyone
guy
else
won a
telling you
free
what to
call
do.
on that
Like,
play.
do you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be, if there's a play to make it happen or to do something, it has to be now. Out of any
Yeah.
other play that
It's
you've
the
ever
Super
played,
Bowl, dude.
this is the one you have
What
to make.
happens?
Like,
if
it has to
what
happen
happens
here.
if he lands on you and breaks your collarbone? Oh well.
You
Like,
might have the ball,
it's
though.
the Super Bowl.
You might have
Yeah.
gotten the ball, and, then,
you'll
and
never
then the
be
backup
same.
QB comes in
You
and...
aren't the same.
No. Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's hard. I just feel like if you're that competitive, yeah, you gotta at least dive for it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You gotta
we're
give it
in
a
we're in
shot.
agreement here.
Okay.
It's the fucking Super Bowl, dude.
Yeah.
Like you gotta. Last game of the year, can't hold anything back now.
Right. If it's week 6 and you're like, I'm not doing this, then whatever. It's week 6. I mean, you can figure it out.
Yeah. You got time.
Yeah.
You got time to figure it out, and you don't want to get hurt week 6
Right.
because there's plenty of season left. Doesn't matter if you get hurt in the Super Bowl.
No.
You got fucking 6 months to figure it out.
Run that list down again for the people at home correctly this time.
From bottom to the top. 2018 Rams, 4 2011 Packers, 3 2018 Chiefs, 2 2011 New England Patriots, and number 1, the 2013 Denver Broncos. Four players go over 10 touchdowns. 2 of them go well over 1,000. 2 of them go over 700. One of them's undrafted rookie tight end. And then, again, monstrous year from Gronk.
Mhm.
The Gronk year. That's the Gronk year. That's peak Gronk and Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
Never got better than that, unfortunately.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
wasn't Gronk's fault.
No, it definitely wasn't
Well,
Gronk's
he
fault.
had injuries, but either way.
But the next
Julius
the
Thomas
next year
pissed me
after
off.
that, the next year after that, 2012, Brandon Lloyd showed up and he dug into a lot of their.
Yeah.
Both of them had
But
lower numbers than next
I really
year.
thought that Julius would have been something. I really did feel.
Well, he
that.
got hurt, right? He went to Jacksonville, which was a shit show disaster of a franchise, and then he had gotten hurt. Right?
I know he got hurt.
Yeah, and he
Mhm.
definitely went to Jacksonville.
No,
Yeah.
and I know he went to Jack. I
Yeah.
know he was nothing in Jacksonville, but I'm saying he played a few seasons after that on the Broncos. And then he got paid
No,
by
he didn't go
Jacksonville.
back to the. No, yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
No, he was solid on the Broncos. I mean, he was never like, I mean, look at all those mouths they had to feed.
Yeah.
Here, I don't know.
He was solid for a few years when Peyton was there.
Yeah, he was fine. He didn't really start to fade
So,
out until he got to Jacksonville.
He's only 34 now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Would have been, 2013.
He's not playing though, right?
No.
He hasn't played since 2017.
Mm.
So it's funny. It's so funny because no, it's not. It's certainly not funny to him. But the first year, 65 catches, 788 yards, 12 touchdowns. That's that year.
Yeah, it's his rookie year.
Yeah. Yep.
Next year, 43 catches, just under 500 yards, 12 touchdowns,
Jeez, still had 12 touchdowns.
and he enters free agency. Jacksonville signs him. And by the way, 2013 and 14, he makes the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Jacksonville signs him to a contract. Now I'm going to give you the number combined in Jacksonville
Oh God.
for the 2 years he was there. And it is 9 touchdowns, 79 receptions.
For 2 years.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was playing quarterback at that point? Was it still
No, I lied.
Blaine?
76 receptions, 700 yards.
Over 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Was it still Blaine playing quarterback then?
I'm not sure. And he went to Miami for 1 year and 40 catches, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he was out of the league. Unbelievable. It's
When
weird.
2014 was Emmanuel Sanders on the team that year?
2014.
Not sure.
He wasn't on the
Broncos.
2013 team,
Say right
right?
now, 2014 Broncos. 2014 Broncos. We have Ronnie Hillman. Remember him? C.J.
Yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Emmanuel Sanders was 101 receptions, 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns.
So 2014 was the year that my fantasy football team was the Jimmy Denver Broncos, because I had Peyton Manning, C.J. Henderson, Emmanuel Sanders, and Julius Thomas.
Jeez.
And we lost in the championship by 1 point
Oh, I
because
remember that.
Peyton threw a fucking interception in the end zone
Jeez.
on Monday Night Football, Week 17.
To lose him the point.
To lose me the point, to lose the fucking. All I needed.
Watching it in Matt's basement. Never forget.
All I needed was like 7 yards on the ground from Henderson, a touchdown to Sanders, or a catch from anybody else, and I won. And it was an interception in the back of the end
that's-
zone.
What year was the Broncos? 13 was the Broncos' big year.
Yeah, that was the big year.
That was the year that we
with the
we-
4
we
10
put
plus
number one,
touchdowns.
right?
Yeah,
So the year
14.
after, Demaryius Thomas had 185 targets. What are we doing?
Because Peyton was dropping
dude?
back 55 times a game, dude.
He had 111 receptions
Yeah.
for 1,619 yards and 11 touchdowns.
And then
Beast
Sanders
stuff.
had how much? How many?
141 targets for 101 catches for 1,404
Yeah.
yards for 9 touchdowns. What in
And
the
then who's
heavens
behind
sent
that?
are we doing? Julius Thomas, 62 targets, 43 catches. Oh, and Wes Welker, 64 targets, 49 catches.
So that was
But-
that was Decker's first year with the Jets, right? They'd lost Decker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tucker's gone.
And I think Wes played 8 games that year.
Yeah. He's an old man at that point. He's like 35. So a lot of people forget he was on the Dolphins before he was on the Patriots for
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, Wes Welker freaks me out. People just don't know. He made He made first team twice and Pro Bowl 5 times. And okay, so ready, check this out, and then we'll wrap this show. Rookie year he had 29 catches, second year he had 67. And then he figured it out. Ready? These are catches starting from 2007. Just catches. 112, 111.
Hold on. How many years was he on the Dolphins?
2.
Oh, 2. All right. It's
Yeah.
not 4 or 5, 2.
Yeah.
Sorry. Stand corrected.
Well, I mean, practice squad and whatnot, but he came up. He was signed in 2004 on the practice squad to Miami. Played on the practice squad all year. 2005 he made his debut on the team. But you know what I'm saying? So the contract was 3 years, but he only played 2, whatever. Or whatever the case may be. But ready? 2007, 112 receptions, then 111 receptions, then 123 receptions, then 86 receptions, then 122 receptions, then 118 receptions.
Yeah.
And then now we're old. 73 receptions. Okay, now we're 33 and we still got 50 receptions. And then we played on the Rams for a year and we didn't really.
I didn't even know Wes Welker played on the Rams
No.
for a year.
13 receptions.
That
on the
is
Rams.
amazing. I didn't know that. You
But-
learn something new every day.
Unbelievable. That sounds like a Hall of Fame career.
I'm sure.
Yeah, no, Wes is a Hall of Famer for sure when it's all said and done.
We're all good here.
It's just about football season.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
I
About
guess
a
I'm excited.
month-ish out.
Yeah, this is gonna come out though, like 3rd week of preseason.
Oh, so we're in
yeah,
football
so,
season
like, it's
at this
just
point.
about football season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this
Yep.
comes out 2nd week of August. I'm
All
sorry.
right, so at
4th
this
week-
point, it's
4th
really
week of
almost
August.
football.
I definitely. I'm excited.
So
I want to do
this
I
is-
want to do an over/under show.
This is probably releasing at or around the same time that the future show.
Yeah,
would
I want to
be
do a
releasing.
future show, and I want to actually play some bets that I probably wouldn't have last
Did
year.
you miss the future show last year?
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
me
It
and
was
you
us
last
two
year.
last
I'm
year.
not-
Yeah.
Jimmy knows this about me. I am not a futures better.
I mean, we could save it for that, but I already have one in, and
Yeah.
I almost put a second one in last night.
I like yours. I'll do yours.
Yeah.
I don't find
Yeah.
future betting worth it unless you're going to spend real money or you're going to bet real odds. Like if you're not going to bet plus 1,500 odds and bet $100 to win at least 1,500, what are you waiting for all year tying your money up?
Right.
Tying your money up, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It just seems silly to me. So the people that place $10,000 for the Rams to win the Super Bowl preseason to win $100K. Oh, that's the move.
I mean,
You know what I
that's
mean?
a huge move, but like
But that's the move.
smaller scale, I put 155 on November 1st to win 1,100 or something like that.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, but don't be taking the odds-on favorite for MVP and 100 to win 400.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
But whatever. That's the future show. We got football coming up. I'm excited. Oh, we're going to be doing. We have to start logistically figuring that out. That league that we want to do.
Yes.
Yes.
For
We can
sure.
figure that out.
That's the show. Time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
As always, we're brought to you by House of Havoc Podcasting, Tiger Pack Productions, Sachi Di Dinero, and Stay Thirsty Company. Peace out.